Hey guys, I made it. Okay, we had a little technical difficulty, but we're getting up and rolling really soon. Trying to get my dogs out of the room so we have some time. So tonight we're gonna do, it'll be a pretty active class. I think we're all doing a lot of sitting lately, so I like to kind of take that energy, move it around the body and then transform it to move it into something else, something that is more useful for us, and in a way that creates something joyful and something that feels good in the body. So, knowing that we're going to do a little bit of work to start, it's always nice to have that in mind so you're not surprised in any way. With that in mind, always take the modifications you need. Modifications are keys. If you don't have blocks, you can grab something else that lets you lift the ground up to you, or always feel free to drop down to your knees, skip anything you don't like, add anything you want to add. Okay, I think camera's set up. Sorry, you're seeing a lot of my hands. So with a class that's centered around a lot of hip mobility and really hip strength before we get into any deep stretches, whatever comes up in that, allow yourself to be with it. For me, I hold a lot of stress and a lot of ways I talk to myself in bad ways when I get into deep in the hips. A lot of things come up about anxiety and being good enough. And even as you see the physical practice, are my stretches deep enough to be good or correct? And allowing yourself to really be with what is. Yoga is a practice of celebrating what is. It's a practice of trying to take those mindsets, those continuous mindsets of how we talk to ourselves. Just like we're going to change our energy, we're going to take those mindsets, we're going to rework it, and we're going to move it on or push it into something more useful. So with that in mind, guys, go ahead, come to your mat. We'll start in Supta Baddha Konasana. You can take the soles of the feet to touch and then lay down on your back. If you saw my playlist that I posted on my Instagram, you can go ahead and start that as you lay backward. I'd like you to rest the hands anywhere that's comfortable, and then close your eyes if you can. Allow yourself to feel gravity. And just like anything, any forces, they're here all day long, but as soon as you take your attention to gravity, that force becomes magnified or stronger. So just take a couple breaths to settle in, to feel how gravity hugs you down to the earth, and the earth comes back up to support it. And then taking your attention to your breath, take a really deep breath in so you feel your back body is spread wider on the floor, your lungs inhale. And then a nice smooth exhale. So an exhale with ease. Again, deep breath in, fill up your lungs in all directions. Let them spread wide and tall and big. And a smooth breath out. And then in this more yin pose, adding some energy even here, pull the big toes apart so the big toes separate. Take the arches of your feet, pull those apart too, and then press the bottom edges of your feet. So that pinky edge, press that together. And then adding in your breath, take that big breath in, Add energy as you press the bottom edge together and pull the thumbs or the big toes apart. And then just let everything go as you soften. Just drop. And try that again. Deep breath in. Take the big toes apart and press the pinky edges together. Feel your glutes light up. And then a smooth breath out. So as soft and smooth as you can release. Again, big breath in. I want you to take twice as much air in as you do energy pushing the feet together. Big breath in. And then a smooth breath out. Then go ahead and take the knees together, knees into your chest, and interlace your fingertips. Wrap yourself as you rock side to side. Let the lower back soften. Let it smooth. Allow the breath to be big and full here, so not autopilot. Allow yourself to put in more oxygen into the system than your body requires here. So breathe in more than you naturally would in this pose. And now go ahead and find Baddha Konasana on your back with the feet lifted. Soles of the feet to touch and knees wide. You can use your arms and swing them back as you rock back. And then as you rock forward, land in butterfly pose. Take a big breath and stretch long. And then exhale nice and easy. Fold. So we'll take that with our breath. Rock back. Rock forward, land in butterfly. Big breath in, press the feet together, reach. And then exhale to fold. Try two more. Rock back. Rock forward into butterfly. Big breath in, press the feet. And then exhale to drop, to fold. One more like that. Rock back. Rock forward. Big breath in as you press the feet and reach tall. And then exhale to fold, to drop. Nice. Go ahead and walk your hands back up. Lift your right leg, or might be opposite on the screen, but take your right leg behind you. Yeah, this is a nice version of a softer figure four pose or a softer pigeon pose. You can take both knees into 45-degree angles so that you can sit up tall. I want you to press down through the bottom edges of your knees. So down through the left side of your left knee, down through the inside edge of your back knee. Press down through the sides edge of your knees, and then squeeze your ankle bones towards each other so you get this squeezing in and pressing down. Squeeze in, press down. Walk your fingertips long in front of you. Take a big breath in, find energy as you lift, and then exhale to fold. There's two more here. In, out, in, out. Go ahead and walk your hands back underneath your chest. Pick your right leg up and swing it all the way outside of your left so it plants. Take your left arm and give your right leg a little hug. Plant your right fingertips behind you. It's a nice easy twist. Lift your heart and take a breath in. I want you to press your left knee down into the earth. Press your left knee down, draw it back, and then twist your right shoulder open. So if you think of wringing out a towel, the ends have to move in opposite directions to create this twisting. So our spine is like that towel. Take your right shoulder back, but at the same time, the opposite end, your left hip, can you draw it down and back? Come back towards center. Go ahead, find the opposite leg in our deer pose. Both legs at a 45-degree angle. And then really important, energy into this pose so that you feel the natural energy. Down through the outside edges of your knees and then squeeze the ankle bones together. Walk your fingertips long and even tense your palms so you can grip your thumbs towards your finger pads. Take a big inhale, stretch your heart long. Bend your elbows towards the floor and melt your heart. Big breath in, press down through the knees and then squeeze towards your midline as you exhale. And then just one more here. Big breath in. Exhale, squeeze your ankle bones in. And then go ahead and walk your hands back under your chest. Lean back and swing your left leg all the way outside of your right. Give a hug of your right hand around your left knee, left fingertips behind you, and then find that ringing out. So the more you take your left shoulder back, the more you drive your right hip away from it, down and away. Tuck your chin towards your throat and pin your belly button towards your spine. So as you take your left shoulder back, draw your right hip down, and then a lot of core to find this twist here. Awesome. Come back towards center. Take both knees into your chest. Come onto your big toes, and then wrap your arms around your knees. Stay here or float your feet off the floor and try and create this little ball as you find balance. And the more your body wants to open wide to help you out, the more you squeeze everything in. And your ankle bones squeeze in, big toes squeeze in, even tuck your chin and squeeze your face. And then 3 big rocks, forward and back. Move along the spine here. Let it break up tension. Let it break up fluid. And then a big rock and roll forward, all the way to downward dog. First downward dog, let it feel really good and spacious here. Just bend one knee, bend the other, and let your hips move side to side. Really nice, really nice. Refind your breath. We're sending more oxygen into the system than it needs here. It's this idea of keeping the movements within the cycle of the breath. So as long as your movements are within your breath, then you're doing it right. Take an inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Exhale, step it through and drop your back knee to the floor. Untuck your back toes and then walk your fingertips super far forward. And then we're just gonna get really passive here so that we take this into the left psoas, or right above the left hip bones. And really feel how you can let the bones stack and support you. Let your elbows bend towards the floor, tuck your chin, and even look towards your back knee. So allowing yourself to feel this stillness, this more yin energy as you drop and release. And then as you walk your hands back, take your hips over your knees, take your hands to your belly, and like someone's punching you in the gut. So we're going to find the opposite of yin, that yang energy, that really energetic and driving. So push your belly button into your spine, like someone's really punching you, and all the air leaves this space. Go ahead and keep that in your belly, interlace your fingertips behind you. Again, if your belly's shot out and your hips draw forward, squeeze your inner ankle bones together and pull your belly button to your spine. Lift your back heel off the floor if that feels okay for you. Flex your toes and try and touch your knuckles to the top of your foot. If the belly moves out, squeeze your belly button in. Reach your knuckles back, tuck your chin, draw your ears back, and then let your shoulders drop down your spine. Deep breath in, smooth breath out. So your left hamstring might be on fire. 2 more breaths. Squeeze it in and maybe your knuckles move towards the top of your toes. Flex your foot and squeeze the back of your left glute. 1 more big breath. And then go ahead, release. Take the hands to the inside of your right foot. Pick up your left foot and swivel it to the outside edge of your mat behind you. And then just do a couple bends forward and bend back, just to get some fluid and space into the knee joint and into the hip. And then plant your right fingertips in the inside of your right foot. Lift your left arm to the sky. Lift your left hip. In fact, take your left hand, take it right to your left hip and lift it up and over on top of your right hip, reaching to the wall behind you. So kind of this idea, we're first being passive into the hip, using our hand to open it up. And then take your left arm up and over your head. Now use the strength of your core to lift your left hip and draw it to the wall behind you. At the same time, press into the pinky edges of your front foot and then squeeze your inner soles together so you get this hug towards the midline. Take your left arm up and over your ear and then spin your heart towards the sky. Again, use your core to draw your left hip up and over and then squeeze your inner arches in. Take 1 more big breath in. Stay for your exhale. And then swivel to the back of the mat. Plant your left hand in the back center. Lift your right arm up and over your right ear. Just a lot of side body length after all that closing up on the right side. And then swivel back towards the top of your mat. Come back into your lunge. Plant your left fingertips on the inside of your left foot, and then right fingertips to the sky. So imagining that twist. Your left hip, outer hip is going to want to drop down. Feel that energy drop down, and then do work to lift the outer left hip up. The more you lift the outer left hip up, the more you take the right shoulder towards the sky. Not the back of the right shoulder, but the front of the right lung. So twisting from the core. Again, you might not get a big as range twisting this while you lift the left hip, but you're using your core to draw the left hip up and then the right shoulder towards the sky. Take your right arm towards the floor, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then modified pyramid. If it would feel good to bend and to straighten, just breathe here and find space and length on the right hamstring. And then plant your palms, step back to downward dog. Take your left leg up and back, and then exhale to step it through. Drop your back knee. A passive move first. Walk your fingertips forward. Let your hips come all the way forward. Let gravity pull them forward. Untuck your back toes, and then let yourself get heavy. Let gravity take your hips forward. Bend your elbows and tuck your chin. Just feel the bones stack. Let the bones support you here. And feel how much ease you can infuse into this moment. Now is our moment of ease, so now we'll take your hips back. Walk your hands up your left thigh. Take your hands to your belly, and I want you to see if you can squeeze all the air out as you press, creating this cat in the spine. Interlace your fingertips behind your back. Tuck your back toes. If your belly popped out, pull it in. Tuck your chin in, and then take your knuckles towards your back heel. Lift your back heel off the floor. Flex your toes and squeeze your knuckles towards your heel. Drag your shoulders down your back. Tuck your chin, ears towards the back wall. Squeeze your inner leg bones together, and then lift your heart towards the sky. 3 more breaths. In, out. 2 more. In, out. Squeeze your right glute for 1 more breath in, 1 more breath out. Go ahead, release your hands to the floor. Pick up your right foot towards the left side of your mat, and then right fingertips to the sky, left hand inside your left foot. Again, start by using your right hand. Pull your right hip up in space. Feel how it lifts up and over your left towards the wall behind you. And then take your right fingertips to the sky. If your right hip starts to drop, do work from your core to pull it up and over your left. Take your right arm over your head, press into the pinky edge of your front foot, and then squeeze your inner arches together, twist your heart towards the sky. Take 1 more big breath in, and then swivel towards the back of your mat. Plant your right hand, take your left arm up and over your left ear. Find space on your left side body. Come back towards the top of your mat. Find your lunge, and then place your right hand to the floor, lift your left arm high. The right hip is going to want to drop forward and down. Can you lift it up and back? At that same time, take the front of your left shoulder, reach it towards the sky. Right hip lifts up. As you pull your belly button in, twist your left lung up and over. 1 more big breath in. Twist on your exhale. Left hand to the mat, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. And then nice and easy to a modified pyramid pose. Deep breath in. Smooth breath out. Then back into your front knee, plant your palms, downward dog. Again, let this dog feel good. Let your hips move side to side. Take the outsides of the armpits and drop them down. Spin them towards the floor. And then really press the floor away so that the heart lifts up and back. The belly button lifts up and back. And then soften your head. Let the back of the neck go. Look towards your fingertips. Come high on your tiptoes. And then tiptoe your way up. If you're working on your handstands or handstand presses, push the floor away, come onto your tiptoes. Shift forward, shoulders towards the fingertips. Squeeze the thumb bones together. Give a press, 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 press. And then forward fold. Bend your knees a lot. Place the ribs on top of the thighs. Tuck your chin towards your throat. And if it feels good, interlace your fingertips and right where the spine meets the skull, squeeze your armpits and squeeze your elbows towards your temples. Tuck your chin even more, and then shift your weight forward as you allow the weight of the hands not to pull, but to drag the spine with gravity. Release your hands to the floor. Knees bent as you press the floor away. Keep your arms and your head heavy as you round your way up. Once you're tall, take your arms to the sky. Grab a hold of your left wrist. Go up and over to the right. Inhale back to center. Switch your grip. Grab your right wrist and go up and over to the left. We'll do that one more time. Come back to center. Grab your left wrist. Reach up and over to the right and pause here. Squeeze your inner arches together so you feel this river of energy through the midline. And then take your left hip forward, pull your right shoulder back. You feel this twisting, left hip forward, right shoulder back to twist your heart to the sky. Inhale, stand tall, reach back up to center. Switch your grip, grab your right wrist, go up and over to the left. Pull the front of your right hip forward, and then reach your right shoulder back, finding this twist in the spine to open the heart towards the sky. Take your biceps by your ears and squeeze into your midline. Find one more breath here. And come back up to center. Cactus your arms, open your heart. Let your elbows reach down so your heart can get big. Inhale your arms to the sky. And then hands to heart center. Go ahead and place your hands on your body here and allow yourself to see what is almost unseen. As the movement gets crazy, as the world gets crazy, one thing that is settled and timeless, the soul. And give yourself permission to let your soul be how it is. Let your heart be open and permission to feel whatever you feel. And maybe set an intention here. How would you like to feel through the rest of your day? How would you like to feel tomorrow? You can do that on our mat here. Take an inhale, reach your arms towards the sky and look up. Exhale to forward fold. Find your halfway lift. Plant your palms, step your right foot back, step your left foot back, high plank. I've been working a lot into high plank and kind of getting into the small little details of high plank and chaturanga. Well, I have time here to slow down. So let's kind of do it together. If you have any issues, just drop into your knees and use that to shift your weight forward more than you would be able to on your toes. If you feel good on your toes, walk your toes back in space so you're in this longer high plank. Squeeze your inner thighs together, and I want you to really keep that squeeze. Come on to the very tips of your toes. Press the floor away, puff up the back of your heart, and then roll even forward onto the tops of your toes. So you're in this high plank. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Press into the tops of the feet. Squeeze your thumb bones together. Shift your shoulders forward towards your fingertips. Take a big breath in. Exhale to your chaturanga. Little pause. Squeeze in, squeeze in. Big inhale to up dog. Press, 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 press. And then drag your hips up and back to downward dog. Take a deep breath in. A smooth breath out. Look forward at the top of your mat. Come high on your tiptoes. And then bend your knees. Step or jump. Halfway lift when you arrive. Breath in. Exhale to fold to drop. Big inhale, reach tall, all the way up. And then exhale, hands at heart center. I want you to press your palms together and tag your belly button to your spine. Let the core get active. Take an inhale, reach your arms up. Squeeze your glutes, maybe a little back bend. And then exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your palms, step your left foot back, and then your right foot back to high plank. So you think your arms are straight in high plank. Can you make them even straighter? Soften your chin towards your throat, and then take that little step back or drop to your knees, that longer plank. Roll forward to the tops of your feet, pause here. Squeeze your kneecaps towards your hips. Press your arms away from the floor as much as you can. Keep that squeeze of the inner legs. Take an inhale, shift your heart forward, more forward than you think. Chaturanga for a little pause. Squeeze in. Big inhale to up dog. Exhale to downward dog. Nice. Deep breath in. Smooth breath out. Inhale, look forward. Come high on your tiptoes. And then bend your knees to step or jump. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. Big inhale, stand tall. Reach all the way up. Hands to heart center, press your palms, let your core be strong. One more Sane. Inhale, reach up, maybe back bend, squeeze your glutes. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lean your heart forward. Exhale, plant your palms, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, downward dog. Deep breath in, smooth breath out. One more. In. Out. Take your right leg up and back. Flex your right toes and take the outer right hip down. Take the inner right hip and lift it up. Inside of the thighs, squeeze together. Take a big breath in. Exhale your knee to your nose. Inhale up and back. And then go ahead, stack your hip. Bend your right knee, flex your right toes, just like we did in our Anjaneyasana. And then twist your heart towards the left side of your mat. Press through your fingertips. Lift your right knee a little higher. Take a breath in. Exhale your knee to your nose. Inhale straight up and back. Exhale, step forward and through. Drop your back knee. Anjaneyasana, lift your arms to the sky. First time through, we'll move nice and slow and methodical, just kind of exploring. So take a big breath in and lift your heart. Cactus your arms. If it feels good, lift your left heel, flex your toes and squeeze your left glute, your left hamstring. Squeeze your back body to open the front. Replace your foot to the ground. Take an inhale, heart high. Start by finding a cat spine as you take your belly button in, like you're losing air in your belly button. And then prayer twist to the right. Well, the left hip wants to drop. Pull the left hip back in space. And then spin the heart to the sky by pressing the palms together. Deep breath in. Exhale to twist your heart towards the sky. Press down into both feet. And then squeeze your inner arches together as you twist, twist, twist. Come back up to center. Inhale. Exhale, modified pyramid. Lift your back knee. Press your hips back. Maybe front toes lift off. Tuck your chin and complete the rounding through the back of your neck. Then back into your front knee, horizon lunge. Plant your left hand under your left shoulder. Roll onto the knife edge of your back foot. And then walk your foot back enough so that it's comfortable. Scoop your left hip underneath you. So scoop your bottom hip towards that right heel. Reach up to the sky. And then one time little hip dip. Drop your left hip down. This left shoulder stacks over your left wrist. Press down through that pressure, but allow your left hip to get heavy. Press the floor away to lift your left hip a little higher, and then squeeze your left tricep towards your left hip. Squeeze your left side body to open the right. Alright, from here, you can stay here or pick up your right foot, and then step it behind you for Wild Thing. Take your right hand to the back of your head, bend your elbow, and twist your heart to the sky. The more you push away from the floor, the more the back of your heart can lift up. Come back to where you came from, and then plant your right hand to the floor, knee towards your forehead. Right knee in, twist open to fallen triangle, left fingertips towards the sky. Left foot plants to the floor and extend your right leg out long. One time hip dip, right hip to the floor. Let your right shoulder stack. The more you feel pressure down, the more you press away and lift. Squeeze right tricep towards right hip. Take your left hand to the floor, right knee towards your forehead. Big breath in. Smooth breath out. Right leg up and back. Downward dog. Shift forward to high plank. And then optional as you lift your right leg, flex your right toes. Shift forward on an inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Big inhale. Up dog. Downward dog. Deep breath in. Smooth breath out. Take the left side. Lift your left leg up and back. First time, just flex your left toes. You can even check and take a look down at your left big toe. Straight down towards the floor. Let your left hip drop, but lift up through the inner left thigh. Take a big breath in. Exhale your knee to your nose. Shift forward. Inhale up and back. Stack your hip. Flex your left toes, and then squeeze your left heel towards your left glute. Spin your chest towards the right side of the mat. Spin your chest towards the right side, and then press your fingertips away. Take a big breath in. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale to step it through. Drop your back knee. Anjaneyasana, arms to the sky. Cactus your arms. Lift your back heel if you'd like, and squeeze your back body. Let it open the front. Take an inhale, arms up. Find cat in your spine. And then exhale, cat your spine as you drive your right elbow to prayer twist. Lift your right hip up in space, and then belly button to spine. Press your palms and twist your left lung. Again, the more you twist, the more that right hip is going to want to drop. Can you lift it back up? Soften your shoulders down, and then press your heart towards your thumbs. Inhale, arms back up to center. Exhale, plant your hands, lift your back knee, modified pyramid pose. Deep breath in. Smooth breath out. Bend back into your front knee. Plant your right hand for horizon lunge. Left fingertips to the sky. Spin onto the pinky edge of your right foot. Feel secure and strong here. Even here, squeeze your inner arches together. One time hip dip. Let your right hip drop towards the floor. Strong right shoulder. And then squeeze right tricep towards right hip. Squeeze right side body to open left. Step your left foot behind you for wild thing. You can bend your elbow, palm to the back of your head, and then lift the back of your heart. Falling triangle, left hand plants, left knee to your forehead. Spin onto the inside edge of your right foot. Extend your left leg out long, right arm to the sky. One hip dip, left hip drops. Squeeze left side body. Right hand lands, left knee to forehead. Left leg up and back. Downward dog. Inhale, shift forward to high plank, optional for one-legged, chaturanga. Big inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Deep breath in. Smooth breath out. 3 more breaths in downward dog or child's pose to recapture your breath. All right, and then we'll take that sequence, 1 breath, 1 movement. Take your right leg up and back. Go ahead, stack your hips, bend your right knee, flex your right toes. Take a big breath in and twist your belly towards the left. Exhale your knee to your nose, just 1 time. Inhale up and back. Exhale, step it through, drop your back knee. Anjaneyasana, inhale. Cactus your arms, maybe back heel lifts. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, catch your spine as you twist. 2 breaths in. Exhale to twist. 1 more breath in. Exhale to press and twist. Inhale, arms up to center. Exhale, pyramid pose. 1 deep breath in. Stay for the exhale. Then back into your front knee, horizon lunge. Take an inhale as you press the floor away. Exhale, let the left hip drop. 1 time, 1 hip dip. Big inhale to lift up. Step your right toes behind you, wild thing. Inhale to lift your heart. And then exhale to move. Fallen triangle. Right leg towards the left, lift your palm. Let your hips drop. Squeeze right side body, lift your hips up. Left hand plants knee to nose. Big inhale, right leg up and back. downward dog. Inhale, shift forward, one-legged high plank, chaturanga. Big inhale, up, downward dog. Left side, left leg up and back. Stack your hips, flex your left toes. Take an inhale, lift your left knee and twist your belly. Exhale, knee to nose, shift forward, pause. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, step it through, drop your knee. Inhale, Anjaneyas. Exhale, back body squeezes. Inhale, arms up, catch your spine. Exhale, twist to the left. 2 breaths, in. Exhale to twist. Where's your right hip? Lift it up, in. Press your palms and twist. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, pyramid pose. 1 deep breath in. Smooth breath out. Nice, then back into your front knee. Left fingertips to the sky. 1 hip dip, let your right hip drop. Big inhale, squeeze your right side body. Step your left toes behind you. Big inhale to lift your heart. And then exhale, transition to falling triangle. Left hip drops. Squeeze left side body. Right hand plants, left knee to nose. Big inhale up and back. Exhale to downward dog. Shift forward, high plank or one-legged. Chaturanga. Big inhale up. Exhale for down. Deep breath in. Smooth breath out. In. Out. 1 more. In. Out. All right, 1 more round. Inhale, right leg up and back. Think all breath. Stack your hip, bend your knee. Take an inhale, lift your right knee higher, spin your belly. And then exhale your knee to your nose 1 time. Inhale up and back. Exhale, step it through. Anjaneyas, inhale. Squeeze back body, exhale. Inhale, arms up, catch your spine. And then exhale, twist right. Option to lift your back knee off the floor. 1 more deep breath in. Exhale to twist and squeeze. Inhale, lift your arms to the sky. Exhale, modified pyramid. Bend into your front knee, plant your left hand, side plank. 1 hip tip, drop your hip, and then press the floor. I take to lift it back up. Wild thing, right toes behind you. Take an inhale to lift your heart and press, press, press. Exhale, plant your right hand, right foot to the side, left fingertips high. 1 hip dip. Lift your hips back up, squeeze. Left hand plants knee to nose. Big inhale, right leg up and back. Shift forward, high plank or one-legged. Chaturanga, exhale. Big inhale up. Downward dog. Left side, inhale, left leg. Stack your hips open. Take an inhale, twist your belly to the right. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, step it through. Anjaneyas, big breath in. Squeeze your back body, breath out. Inhale, arms up, find cat in the belly. And then exhale to twist. Option to lift your back knee, breath in. Exhale for breath out. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, pyramid pose. Bend into your front knee, horizon lunge. 1 hip dip here, right hip down. Squeeze right side body. Left leg up and back, wild thing. Big inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, left hand plants, left leg to the right. Right fingertips high, 1 hip dip. Left hip down, left hip up. Knee to nose, a big exhale to squeeze. Inhale, left leg up and back. Shift forward, high plank, one-legged. Chaturanga. Big inhale up. Downward dog, exhale. Deep breath in. Smooth breath out. Set your knees to the floor. Child's pose. And then right away drop in. Be a master at rest. A master at dropping into ease. And allow yourself to feel everything that's here. If you're like me, the tendency might be to run away from feeling. But let your heart be open. Whatever is here is meant to be. Just 1 breath at a time. And this breath in, and this breath out. Everything changes. Everything is a cycle. And the soul is timeless. Go ahead, shift forward onto all fours. Step your left foot outside of your left hand, your right foot outside of your right hand, and then sink down into your Malasana pose. We're going to be here for a little bit, so if you want to grab a block or something to sit on, we're going to do a little into the wrists. So if you want to come on and sit onto your knees, if that's more comfortable for you, you can do that here. Otherwise, in your Malasana pose, go ahead and reach your arms out long. So if you're like me during this time where you have a lot of time, you might be working on some stuff, a lot of stuff on the hands, arm balances, or pushing yourself to where you might not go in a group class. You know, to keep the wrists healthy, when you're on your hands, you're working a lot of strength in the forearm, the inner arms, and on the inside of the wrists. To keep the wrists healthy, we also want to actually strengthen the back of our wrists so that they work in equal amounts. This will not only prevent injury, but it'll help you when you're doing these arm balances. So go ahead, stretch your arms out long, or rest your arms to your tops of your knees. And all you're going to do is let your fists come nice and easy wide, and then you're going to stretch them as wide as you can, squeezing the backs of your forearms. And then we're just going to do this for about 30 seconds here. As you do this, as you open and then open wider, open, open wider, open, open wider. Go ahead and take a scan of the rest of your body. Now allow your breath to be smooth and soften the space between your eyes, or release the gripping of your jaw. Let the outsides of the knees press out, but then a little squeeze of the inner arches together, so even here you're supported. And then go ahead, speed it up. We have about 10 more seconds here. Go ahead, speed it up for 10, for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plant your fingertips to the floor. Lift your hips. Turn your toes in. Walk your feet to hip distance. Bend your knees. Slide your hands under the fronts of your feet. Padahastasana. Bend your knees a lot so that your chest rests to the top of your thighs. If you even see here, my chest is just laying on my thighs. Allow your toes to walk up to those little wrist creases, and then shift your weight forward so your toes give a little massage to the backs of your wrists. Drop your head and tuck your chin. Let your elbows go wide. Let your shoulders reach away from your ears up towards the ceiling. Shift the weight of your hips forward. And then lift your kneecaps towards your hips. Let that lift your hips so that your core is lifting the tailbone. Deep breath in. Smooth breath out. Nice. Release your grip. Walk your feet back towards Malasana. And then this one's really nice. I've been doing this when I have really tight forearms. You're going to go into Malasana. You're going to take your hands. You're going to scoop them underneath your body so that as you sit back into Malasana, the backs of your thighs are squeezing into your forearms, and it'll give a little release of your forearms. And just kind of notice how that feels as you put weight into it. And then just to explore some movement into the fingertips. You can give a little shift side to side and notice how that changes. And then go ahead, lift your hips, and then slide that stretch all the way to the tops of the wrists, or right below the wrists, so they get call them the iPhone muscles, or those little muscles you use to maneuver all the fingertips. Nice, go ahead, release that, lift your hips, turn your toes in, walk your feet to hip distance. If you feel good here, walk your big toes to touch, a little space in your heels. Drop the top of your head. Take your hands to the backs of your thighs, or backs of your hamstrings, sorry. Shift your weight forward. If it feels good, you can reach down and scoop the backs of your heels.
Squeeze your inner ankle bones together, tuck your chin towards your throat, lean your weight forward and lift your kneecaps towards your hips. Deep breath in as you take your shoulders up away from your ears. And then exhale, little pull. The heart moves down as the shoulders move up towards the sky. Go ahead, release. Walk your feet back towards Malasana and then step your left foot back. Drop your back knee to the floor. Walk your fingertips to the inside of your right foot. Let's go ahead and tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Send your right arm to the sky, twist open. And then exhale, thread. Right fingertips, reach through the front foot, and then back towards the left side of your mat. Push your hips back, straighten your front leg, and maybe the right toes lift. 2 more times. Inhale, open up wide, let your hips shift forward and down. Exhale, push back and thread. 1 more. Inhale, shift forward and down. Squeeze your back body. And then exhale, thread. Lift your right toes, press into your right heel. Reach, 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 reach. And then shift forward again. Now drop your back knee, place your hands to the inside of your right foot. And then instead of letting your hips drop forward like we did as we reached or we did in our passive stretch, shift your hips back over your left knee and then hunker yourself down so that elbows can come to the floor. You can grab your blocks or maybe a couple pillows. Find your cat spine, round your tailbone towards the floor. Tuck your chin towards your throat and look back towards your back knee. Allow your shoulders to get heavy, but we're not completely letting go. Press down through your right foot, press down through the pinky edge, and then squeeze your inner ankle bones towards each other. Squeeze your inner ankle bones. All right, you can stay here and just play around with the stretch. Let it be interesting each breath. Or take your right hand into a C, almost like you're grabbing a beer. Take that right cup and hook your right ankle. Hunker down even more, catch your spine, and then scooch your right shoulder underneath your right quad. You have this C of your right ankle. I want you to think the opposite directions we've been working. So take your right knee, use your right hand to push your right shin forward. Right hand pushes right shin forward as you pull your right hip back in space. The left hip wants to drop down. Can you lift the left hip back up? Press your tailbone back. And then draw your right shoulder forward, draw your right shin forward, draw your right knee forward. If you feel good, stay here and explore this stretch. Otherwise, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then plant your back foot like Warrior One. And again, you can use this here to draw your hips lower. Press your right shin forward as you pull your right hip back in space and enjoy this really deep hip stretch. Or you can take your 2 fingers and interlace them around the front of your right foot. Hunker down as you try and reach your elbows to the floor. Tuck your chin and look back towards your right foot, your left foot. 3 more breaths. In, out. Shift your weight forward, press down through your right heel. 2 more breaths. Nice, unhook your hands, meet in Skandasana towards the back of your mat. So it should be a big release for your front leg. And deep breath in here, smooth breath out. Nice. Walk towards the front of your mat. Shift your back toes in, come up to Warrior Two, big spin up and open. Reverse your warrior, big inhale. Warrior Two. Straighten your front leg, find goddess pose towards the right. Do a little bit of hip mobility in this front hip. Stack your shoulders over your hips, squeeze your inner arches together. Lift your right heel, your front heel off the floor. You're gonna spin your front knee in towards the floor. Left foot stays just as it is, and then maybe you just reach your knee down towards the floor, or maybe you all the way find a tap. Come back into goddess pose and squeeze your inner ankle bones together. 3 more like that. Shift the knee in, reach towards the floor, maybe it touches. Come back to goddess pose, get strong. All right, 2 more, nice and easy, nice and smooth. Find your breath here. Goddess pose. Come back. Goddess pose. And then 1 more bonus if you'd like. Spin in, drop, pause, belly button in. Come back, goddess pose, get strong. Straighten your arms and your legs, turn both toes in. Nice, easy forward fold. Bend into one knee. If you'd like, bend into the other.
And then a forward fold that feels good. If you walk your fingertips back, keep them shoulder distance. Elbows want to reach out, squeeze your elbows in towards each other. Walk your fingertips back if it feels good. Squeeze your elbows in, tuck your chin, shoulders up towards the sky as you press your heart down towards your thumbs. Walk your fingertips back under your chest. Walk yourself forward. Frame your front foot, spin all 10 toes forward. Plant your palms, take your right leg up and back, and stack your hips. If you want to flip your dog here, go ahead and flip to wild thing. Vinyasa or cat-cow, wash your spine with breath. Deep breath in, smooth breath out. Step your left foot outside of your left hand. Take your left fingertips to the sky, option to tent onto your right fingertips. Take an inhale, open up wide. And then exhale, thread towards the back right corner. Straighten your front leg and flex your left toes. Inhale, open up wide, let the knee fall out, squeeze your back body. And then exhale, thread. Flex your left toes and push through your left heel. One more, inhale, open up. Exhale to thread. Come back to center, drop your back knee. Again, shift your hips back, so hips shift back over your right knee. And then hunker down, elbows to the floor, you find your blocks. Again, pause anywhere that is interesting. Remember, there's no goal or no gold star. Find your breath and move within your breath. And make your shape meaningful to you. Make it count for you. All right, if you feel good here, take that little C or beer can, cup the back of your left heel, hunker down, find your cat spine, push your left shin forward as your left hip draws back. Left shin forward, left hip back. Left shin forward, left hip back. Hunker down even more and snuggle your shoulder underneath your left cat. If you feel good here, stay around and play here. Enjoy the stretch as you find pressure down through your left foot. So how much pressure can you shift forward and how much pressure can you put down? Otherwise, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, warrior one legs. Stay here and work a drop of the hips as you drag your left hip back or interlace your fingertips around your left calf, your left shin. Hunker down and see if you can touch your elbows to the floor. Stay strong as you squeeze your inner ankle bones together. The more that you show your body you're useful in this position, the quicker it'll start to reshape. So we're using this tension to reshape our body. That's how the body works. It takes stress, and then it starts to reshape into that pattern to be useful. If you show your body you're strong here as you squeeze your leg bones together, as you lift the back of your heart towards the sky and pull your belly button in. If you show it that it's useful here, it'll start to reshape in this opening faster. And then on top of that, add more breath. Show your body you're calm here. You're strong here. Skandasana towards the back of your mat. Enjoy the release. Breathe into where you feel that release. Notice where you feel that. That's where you did the most work, the most compression. Come up into warrior two. Rise up. Reverse your warrior, reach up and back. Warrior two. And then your goddess pose. I'll stay back. Goddess pose. All right, a little hip mobility in your front leg. Lift your front heel off the floor, spin your front knee towards center, and then maybe it drops towards the floor. Bend your knee, keep your heart and your chest lifted as you lower down. Come back up to goddess. And then you know where you're going, so just kind of move here with your breath. Mobility is about feeling strong, about staying interested into how your body works. Can I move my body in this way? And can I breathe through that? Do one more nice and slow. Straighten your legs, straighten your arms, turn your toes in. Grab a grip behind your back, Prasarita C, interlace your fingertips. just like we did, cat in your belly button here to start. Catch your belly, reach your knuckles back, tuck your chin. Draw your shoulders down towards your back pockets, and then maybe lift your heart towards the sky. Lead with your heart as you forward fold, and then fingertips up and over. Deep breath in. Smooth breath out. Take your shoulders up away from your ears. Shift the weight of your hips forward. And then squeeze like you're juicing an orange between your hands. Squeeze your knuckles together. And then allow the knuckles to drop. Give them permission to drop a little further. Take your fingertips underneath your face, halfway lift. Walk yourself to the front of your mat. Frame your front foot. Step back to downward dog. Nice and easy vinyasa or cat-cow. Deep breath in. Smooth breath out. Come forward and drop your knees to the floor. Puppy pose. Keep your knees stacked over your hips. Walk your hands forward. Drop your forehead or your heart to the mat. And then just 3 big breaths here. And I want you to see how quickly you can just settle, how quickly you can drop in. And then walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. And really want to do a release of the front body here after all that front body work. We don't want to walk around all tensed up in the front body. So if you have a towel nearby and you want to grab it and roll it up, or you can take the front of your mat. I want you to take the front of your mat and start to roll it up towards the back of your mat. With yourself on your knees, walk your way back, so maybe the ankles or the shins are just hanging over the back of your mat. Roll up the back of your mat so you get this nice big roll. And this roll is going to go right underneath your belly button. If you notice where the bony parts of your hips jut out, it's going to rest right on top of that. So this roll goes right underneath the belly button, right on top of the hip bones. So go ahead, lay down. Find a position that's comfortable. 2 options here. An easy Sphinx pose as you let the belly drop and get heavy. So this is option 1. Option 2, bend your knees. Take your hands to the insides of your feet. Again, this roll of the mat on the hips is going to help a lift of the hips. Press your knees down into the floor. Kick your feet into your hands, and then lift your heart towards the ceiling. Again, if you feel a tip forward, go ahead and roll back on the mat. You want the belly to lift and the mat to push you back. Find your breath here. Soften your chin towards your throat. Let your shoulders drop down and in. And then it's really important to squeeze your inner ankle bones towards each other. A couple soft breaths here. Match your effort with ease. And then go ahead, release. Stack your palms, forehead to your palms, and let your hips shift side to side. Walk yourself back up to your knees. Roll your mat out in space. Come down to sit cross-legged. Take an inhale, lift your arms towards the sky, and then easy forward fold. Sit, sit, sit. Walk your fingertips back underneath your chest, sit tall. Switch the crossing of your legs, opposite shin in front. Take your arms to the sky, inhale, and then easy forward fold. And again, Allow yourself to feel what's here. Maybe turn up the volume of your breath so that you let it anchor you into this moment. If your mind is rushing into what's next, you can say that's okay. That's what the mind does. Allow your breath to keep you anchored in this moment. How does this breath feel? And then how does this breath feel? Walk your hands back, lift your chest, and then one final forward fold. Really think of this as a sealing of your practice. Give your legs a little shake. Walk your hands down either to your grip or palms to the floor. And then find a little cat spine in your belly. Take the belly button and press it towards the back of your mat. Tuck your chin and really complete this rounding. Back of the neck super long. You're turning inward, and it's this continual spiral, so that as you soften into your forward fold, or as you breathe into depth, as you allow your body to open, to go where it's going to go, the emotion and the sensation, it swirls. It swirls so it doesn't leave like other poses. You don't press it out. It swirls until you give acceptance to it. Till you say, this is where I am, for 3 more breaths. And then see how your body lets go as you release control. And then just like that, it's over. Walk your hands back up. Scoot your seat forward. Roll onto your back. Just give a little couple shifts of your knees side to side. And then stretch your legs out long. Take up space. Heels towards the edges of your mat. Palms by your side. Close your eyes here. I'm just going to do a short Shavasana here. Again, if you can stay with it for 1.5 minutes. This is the ultimate surrender. Ultimate allowing of your body to be held by the floor. It's a refuge from our need to control. Let it be a refuge. If you have more time, please stay and rest. Give your body that gift. Or bend your knees in towards your chest, roll onto your side, press your way up to a seat. Again, as the outer world swirls, everything changes. Yoga is a celebration of what is here, what is now. As everything changes, the one thing that's the same is your soul. It's timeless. It's a stone through weather, through storms. Allow it to be. Allow yourself to feel. May all beings everywhere know happiness, know peace. Namaste, guys. Awesome work today, guys. I hope to be on the channel more. Again, if you're feeling inclined and like you benefited from these practices, We have a teacher relief fund on blackswanyogaAustin.com/live, so feel free to go and donate, just help your fellow teachers out. Oh, thank you guys.